Today I'm going to look at this thing here, FNIRSI soldering iron. This is the HS-02. This particular one is the 02A. So there's information about it, 100 watts apparently, maximum. Runs off USB-C, negotiates voltage apparently. This has been sent to me at no cost by FNIRSI, I should point that out. So for the purpose of review, I haven't paid for this. Quick start thing here. Insert the bit. Plug in the power. Information there too. QR code, instruction manual thing, so you can scan that if you want it. So as you can see, got a nice case. Oh, I've got a peel. You've got to do a peel properly. Hold on. I need to do this classy way. The tweezers. Oh yeah. Even the cat's going to see me because she's so excited. Now I've done the peel, let's have a look inside it. So we've got the actual iron here. Nice little bayoneting type cover. Feels nice actually. Pretty lightweight. It's got reasonable weight to it. It's not heavy or anything. It feels substantial enough. It doesn't feel too light. Oh, tilting base, which is built into the base. Alright, so use this as your work area as well. So that will go in there. Alright, nice. So you've got a tip cleaner here. That's not pushed in properly. Try that again. Kind of gets caught on the inside because it's got a lip inside there. In that bit there, there's like a lip in there, so I'm trying to pull it back out. It gets caught a little bit. Yeah, that lip on the back needs taken off so then you don't get caught on the back. Yeah, sort of like, I'm trying to pull this out and it's getting stuck more often than not. Yeah, that's a pain to get it out. I mean, it's a nice idea. But the fact that you've got a lip on the back of that makes it actually really hard to get the thing in and out. Like it's like constantly getting stuck. Yeah, and then that happens. So, yeah. Don't like the design, understand. They thought about it a little bit, but not all of it. They actually, someone's designed it and not actually tried out their design after they've made it. It's that kind of thing. They designed it, I thought, oh, that looks pretty cool, it's a nice functional thing, that's really nice. Yes, it is. Apart from that bit, trying to get it back out again. Because it's always getting stuck. First bit of criticism. If you get one of these, maybe see if you can take the base apart and put a lead in, like a little chamfer onto the back of that step in there so you don't get your iron caught all the time. I actually have the similar sort of thing with my other base over here. I can't show you it, but I've got a proper soldering iron stand here. From the review I did of the FNIRSI DWS, was it 200 I think it was? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, that had a similar sort of issue. The base on that, it's got a step on the back of it, so it's not as bad as this one. It's actually got a larger opening. This one's a bit smaller. It's way small. It doesn't actually need to be that small either. I don't know why I've done that. Just make it harder to use. Roll of solder here, interestingly, and it's this opening here. It's like a slot. I thought, what's that for? Then it's like, okay, well, I don't know. What are you supposed to do with this? Solder's stuck in it. So I think the idea of this is that you have the solder shoved through there like that, and then you can dispense it to yourself when you're using it, and then when you finish you wind it back in. Which hasn't got any area for you to go hold of it to wind it back in. Again, someone's got a nice design concept, not actually tried it out. Another fail. And that's what this little disc thing, which just seems to be completely pointless, it sits on top of there for some reason. So you can do that. Great. How do you get it back in? You take the thing out and you can't reach around it to get it out. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not liking this so far. I mean, it looks really nice. It looks nicely designed, but when you go to use it, hey, that one came out at the time. Not so much. Okay. Well, let's look at the bits. Silicon mounting in there or something. So they just pop in, that's nice. They're in there quite tightly, so they won't just fall out. So if you want to change the bit on this, I suppose that allows you to change a bit. You know, you do want it to grab on the back, so you change a bit. So that part is probably intentional, but they've made it too hard to get out of the stand. And then you can change a bit. And then you push it in really quickly without burning yourself, maybe. Or maybe you could just push it into the silicone like that. It's a nice enough case, I suppose, but I mean, that works. But then once you've got a bit in there which is hot, where are you going to put your iron? And you could kind of balance it like that, maybe. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. You see a little door on the side there. So I know some people do like to have this roll of solder and they'll like spool a piece out and they'll be just holding a piece of solder themselves without holding a spool. That's not how I solder. I have a spool like this and I hold the whole spool like that and I just feed in. I just only have what I need off it, like this sort of size. Easy to hold of. If you're doing a lot of soldering and your fingers are crunched like this, it's actually quite hard on your hands. Holding something like this is really easy. So that's why I prefer to do it that way. I'm not sure I'm a fan of the design. We'll try this out shortly. And what even is this solder anyway? Got it in port 227, so it's lead-free solder. Not unsurprising. Let's plug some power into it, turn it on, try it out. Look at the user interface and that sort of stuff. Having this around makes it really hard to get any work done. Get out of the way. So these are a whole bunch of hairs everywhere. Right, let's plug this thing in. FNIRSI actually included this cable for me. I don't know if they actually would normally do that, but they included this and a charger to power the thing with. So let's turn it on. Mr. Slash screen, we'll turn it on again in a second. It's drawing 1.4 watts when idle. Turn the power off again. Put it back up. There you go, little splash screen. We've got another peel we can do here. Look, got a second peel. Can you get spoiled? He comes off. No, I think you're teasing. Looks like the peel is just a piece of tape because there's nothing else on the screen. They put a piece of tape on for a peel when there's no plastic film on it. Another fail, thanks FNIRSI. And they've got glue it over the screen. Great. I'm having a hard time cleaning it off, so sorry, I can't bother wasting more time on that. Okay, the screen is what the screen looks like. So we have a menu. You've got an OK button and a couple of buttons here. OK button starts heating, great. We can see the set point, maybe, behind the tape residue. Yeah, you can see how slow that's coming up. That's pulling 60 watts out of my charger there. Yep. It's 450 it's set to now. Right, drop this back down again. I'll do, say, 250, right? Give it some time to come back down. Hope we can get it back out the stand. Let's turn this on. So I'm going to look at the temperature on my iron tester here. This will give us an indication of accuracy. It probably has calibration set points in there too. The temperature is coming down slowly. Is it real-time display? Is it real display? I don't know. Looks like it might be, actually. They are kind of corresponding. Which is actually quite nice, because I've seen lots of irons where it'll just, you know, the temperature will supposedly drop, and it'll be a bit different to what the actual temperature is on the tip. I'll stick some fresh solder on this. That's now 250, right? So what we're getting? Depending on how I put this contact on there. So 7 degrees off, is it? 5 degrees off. Not too bad. Okay, let's go up to 300. Log about 5 degrees off. 350. Just moving the iron tip around, making sure I've got the best contact. Yep. It's about 13 degrees below there. 400. About 14 degrees below, so it's fairly consistent at least, so we can probably calibrate that out. I expect so anyway. How do we get in the menus? Well, it's back. The bloody ginger thing's back. Go away. So you pull the tip out, it starts beeping at you to tell you to put the tip in, which is fine. There we go, menu. So you have to hold the OK button down to get into the menu. Sleep settings. Okay, so I guess if we do OK on that, sleep time's 29 minutes. I think that's probably a bit long. Well, that's probably a bit short. I don't know. 10 minutes. Let's do 10 minutes. Okay. And what happened there? Oh, I turned it off. So I'll get back out of here then. Hold it down. Hold it down. Okay. Standby time 30 minutes. Sleep temperature 100 degrees. Yeah, okay. Is that it? There's 3 settings in the menu for sleep. Standby temp. Let's make this a bit warmer. It's a little bit slow to come up, so I might do 130 degrees. There we go. Back out of menu again. Yep, okay. Handle set. Preset temperature. So it's got 3 presets in there. See, cycling around through them. That's not nice. So this one here, 300 for the lowest. Yeah, okay, I suppose that's alright. Doing something quite tough, you want it to be pretty hot. Yeah, 390. Okay, so that one. Voltage. I would have thought that'd be automatic. Or is that just telling you what it's actually found? So if you want to reduce the voltage, maybe, whichever one, the highest one on negotiate, I'm guessing that's what it'll be. So yeah, it's fine, we'll leave on that. Power, 65%. Interesting. 65%. So I was only drawing 60 watts, and this is rated at 100 watts. So that's probably why it's only doing that. If I put this up more, maybe it will be more quicker. Let's do 90%, alright? Steps, 5 degree steps. I think 10 degrees is fine. 5 degrees is a bit fine, really. Temp calibration, yeah, we can do that. Let's go at 150. I think it was sitting a bit low, wasn't it? So let's go 5 there. We only did 250, didn't we? We didn't actually do 150. And 350 was about 10 degrees down, wasn't it? Let's do 10 there. Okay, let's do that. At least that's on that tip. A different tip might give different results. Okay, so now we've done that, let's go back at this menu and we'll go back and try it again. Actually, let's go back and do another system. What else is there? System set. Let's look at this one. So language, yeah, so I'm going to leave that alone. Left hand, right hand options, so I'll show you change the display, which way up it is. Units in C, obviously with Fahrenheit as well. Volume is on, so it's a little beeper. Brightness on 10. Is that maximum? That is maximum. So if you want to preserve the backlight on this, I don't know, I think 6 is fine, even under my lighting, I think 6 is fine. Although it's a bit harder to see on camera, so maybe I will actually leave it up for now. Yeah, 8. We'll do it on 8. This means the backlight will last longer. OLED display in it, so it will be it will last longer if you have the brightness down. Yep, that's it, wasn't it? Roll set on, firmware update, and about. Version 1.8. Now see, there's a little thing here. Bit of an issue with this screen. I saw the same thing on the Zoe ones. I think it was Zoe ones they sent me. Had the same sort of thing, where the black surround on the bezel here actually overlaps the screen. See, it's sort of cutting it off a little bit. That is showing onto the camera right now. See, it's cutting off very slightly. If I tip it slightly more, you can see more. Like the alignments aren't quite perfect, or this bezel was a bit too wide there. A bit too much of an overlap on the screen. It's actually cutting it off a little bit. Version 1.8, in case you care, in case it matters. Alright, that's it. Reset factory. Okay, let's get back out of here. Get back out of this one. Back to the beeping. Yay! Right, so watch the meter over here for the power, and I turn the heating back on again. Now last time we got 60 watts, we should get now probably, I'm guessing 85 to 90. I've set it to 90% on here, so I think we're going to get 85. Get 96, there we go. And that's heating up. Yep, that's heating up much quicker now. It actually heats up quicker than the display update. What are we getting on here? Sitting at 330 right now. Should be a bit warmer now I've adjusted it. Or is it sitting colder? That's 15 degrees out. I'll do these presets. That's number 3, so that's at 390. 400. Let's do 400. That's worse. Okay, so that calibration I did was backwards. Let's adjust it again. Handle set. Presets are fine. Power is fine. Steps are fine. Calibration. So these were the other way around. We've got to go down, not up. So 5 degrees there. 5 degrees there. And 10 there. Let's just do 12 there. Back out of there. Back out of there. Back out of there. Okay, let's try this again. Let's set at 400 right now. See what we get. Oh, look at that. Basically there, 400, there we go. Great. So I've set this now to 100% output. It's currently just sitting in standby. I'm just going to see what power it now draws with 100% power instead of 90% power. Let's see what happens. I've only got to set to 350, so it shouldn't take long to get there, but we should be enough time to see what's going on with this. 105 watts. Cool. And it got to temperature very quickly. That's much more like I'd expect. Why it comes with only 65% rating on it when you get it new, I don't know. Why is it preset to 65%? I guess it's to make it easier on the power supplies, maybe, I don't know. But in reality, you only really need it for the warm-up time anyway. Once you're actually soldering, you don't need all that power usually, unless you're doing a massive ground plane on something. You know, even then, it's, you know, you have a bigger tip probably. But yeah, I mean, this is working okay. So I was just thinking about this case. And I'm really quite critical of this. I mean, this is even a little snap action latch on here. That's snapping open. Actually, snaps action. Snaps shut, snaps open. The things about this design is that it's got a step in there, so it makes it hard to pull the iron out. Okay, silly design choice, easily fixable. The solder dispenser, again, some people do use their irons like that, and so it will be suited to them. But the way it's done, I think, is wrong. There's nothing to really grab hold of this thing to get in and out. You know, I should have probably just left like that whole side there open so you can grab that edge and pull it out or something. But even then, when you do stick the solder at the side, you've got to get it back in. I mean, you can kind of wind it back like that, I suppose, but when they stow it, it's just not great. What I was actually looking at, you've got this little sliding door on here, and you've got some little notches in there. I don't know if you can see it on camera. There's little notches there. When I first opened this up, there's actually solder tucked into that notch. They've actually designed this backwards. So what I actually should have done, the little sliding door's fine. If anything, they should have actually put some texturing on that. It's dead smooth and slippery. But they should have put a little bit of texture on it, you know, a bit of, I don't know, a rib or something down it so you've got something to grip hold of to slide the thing. another design fail where someone's not actually used the product that they're designing. And what I should have done is actually had these notches and opening for the solder on the opposite side. Reason then is because you can slide it over and push the solder into that slot on that side and tuck it out of the way and lock it in place, right? And then when you open it up, you've got the solder there, you can just turn it a little bit and it'll pop it out and that'll be done. Right now, because it goes behind the door, you can't actually push the solder out. You have to take the spool out and mess around with it. They've designed that bit backwards. Those slots should be on this side, so then you push the door over to lock it in place and cover the hole, and then you can slide it back out the way you want to use it. And that would have been fine. That would have been okay. What they've done here is wrong. Again, it's just like a typical FNIRSI thing, right? FNIRSI get things 90% right. That's by my experience. Now, I've reviewed many FNIRSI products, and I have a reasonable relationship with them, I think. And they keep sending me things, even though I'll be critical of various aspects of their products, which is good because it means, you know, I'm trying to be fair, realistic about what I'm experiencing, and they still send me stuff, so I don't seem to care that I might be critical about aspects. Maybe they don't believe I'm right, maybe they disagree with me and they just want to do their own thing, or maybe they just don't care about the criticism and it doesn't bother them. They're quite happy to accept that. I honestly don't know. The case I really like. I do like the case, don't like the way it's been designed in some ways. Like the holder, as I said, I keep going on, like trying to get that iron out of there, that's a pain in the ass. That's going to really annoy you. If you're using this thing, that is going to really get on your nerves. And again, look, can't get it out. So that'd be irritating to you if you're trying to use that for that function. A bit more care about thinking about how the iron gets in and out. You know, the person that designed this has never used a soldering iron properly, or even tried the product they designed. I don't know. But that, and this, I mean, the rest of the case I think is fine. I mean, these are quite tight, these ribs in here. On these tips, it's quite tight in there. It's like tighter than I think they should be. And that'll probably wear, if you're actually using it, it'll probably wear a little bit anyway, and then, you know, it'll be alright. Just little things like the soldering iron mount and the spool, and the way it handles the spool coming out, are just not done by someone who understands how it actually works, really. Nice design, so, you know, it's obviously got really good, nice designers, but they're not designing for actual usage. I've been critical of FNIRSI about lots of things, but they always seem to get the products like 90% near, 95% near, like they're almost perfect, but there's always something which isn't quite right, whether it be a firmware glitch or a user interface oddity or something like that. I mean, functionally, you look at them, they look really nice. They look like they're a quality product. They do actually look like a quality product. When you build this thing, it feels substantial. It feels like it's decent. There's like 3 things wrong with this, really. The rest of it's perfectly fine. Just 3 things are wrong. And it will ruin your experience, I think. You may not care about this, you may use your own solder, but if you're going to use this as a portable pack, you know, something that you can take with you and have you on the go, you may not care. It's a nice convenient box. Plus you also got the tip cleaner in here, right? So you can clean your tip in that, that's fine. I like that. It's just a shame that there's always something which isn't quite right. What I'm really inclined to do is to see if I can even, I don't know if it's possible to pull this case apart. There's probably some screws under there. Yeah, I don't know, if you can pull the case apart, take this piece out, maybe you don't even have to do that. Let me try something. So over here I've got one of these reamer things. I can actually get this down there, and let's just clean up the inside of that a little bit, shall we? I think I've taken off all I can. Look, it's a spoiler. Let's see, get it out. Starting to chew into the outside part. So has that helped at all? I took a bit off, not much really. It's going to blow, maybe. It's not actually running, it's fine. That is slightly better, right? I didn't read much off, I took off very little. That is enough to make a difference to get the thing in and out. It's already twice as easy to get it out. I mean, that's how small a change it takes. I mean, if you really wanted to, you get in a drill bit and just take that little lip on the inside out. That's all it is. That little lip in there, get rid of that, it'll be much easier to get in and out. As you're looking at this bit some more, that's actually a steel disc, not an aluminium disc. It's just really thin steel. Because that kind of snaps in, that's magnetic. See this? That's magnetic. Why? Again, really nice design detail, practically pointless. I don't know, I mean, they could have done without that aspect and reduced the cost a bit. I don't know, someone thought it was important. I think getting a stand so it's usable was more important. Well, I think that's enough of that. I mean, the iron itself works fine. I mean, I'm happy with that stuff. It's easy enough. The user interface looks fine. Easy enough to pick it up without reading any instructions, which is the whole point of me not reading instructions, just to actually test things without reading them. You can stow it in there with a bit in it. Yeah, get rid of the cat here, we'll put in as didn't happen. I mean, it's nice enough, but you know, you chuck this in your bag and stuff just fine. But using the solder, using the stand, fundamental things of a soldering iron, they've got those bits wrong. The rest of it's perfectly fine. So when they try to be clever, they failed. Anyway, thanks FNIRSI for sending that to me at no cost. Check the links out down below. These issues are kind of fixable. If you don't use the spool inside the holder, it doesn't bloody matter. And this holder you can fix yourself with a bit of drilling. So, not a big deal. It's fixable. I'm just amazed that you need to do it. Again, like I said, FNIRSI always gets like 95% of it right. And there's always something which isn't quite perfect. Anyway, catch you later.